Okay. Well, thank you. I'm sure there's a website where people, or Facebook or Instagram, where people can get all that great information.
You can find us in all sorts of places. IndivisibleEmpathyUnited.org will have all the information for Pleasantville, Atlantic City, and Egg Harbor Township. We're also on Instagram at Indivisible Empathy United, Facebook, Indivisible Empathy United, TikTok, Indivisible Atlantic City, and Blue Sky, Indivisible AC. You can also email us at empathyunitedsouthjersey@gmail.com. So please join us any one of our social channels, and you will be able to find out all the information we just talked about.
Great. Okay, so let me ask you, you mentioned the big, terrible bill that was just signed.
Yes.
What is Indivisible's view of that, and how, now that it's passed, what is the next step?
So to keep showing up and organizing, we need to exercise our organizing muscles, not just for Van Drew's next election in 2026, but right now, Indivisible is going to be working hard to ensure that we end up with Governor Mikey Sherrill, and that we maintain Democratic control of the state legislature. So Indivisible is a nonpartisan organization, but many times our values align with Democratic candidates. So we're going to be doing everything in our power to get Democratic officials, elected at the state level for this year. That's our big goal right now. We're actually partnering with the Atlantic County Democratic Committee to canvass for candidates. So that's really what we're most concerned with in the immediate future. And then after that, it will be all about organizing to flip Congressional District 2. Right now we are, I think, R+6. Like, we're very unlikely to flip and be able to elect a Democratic congressional representative. But I think that this is our time. I think there's a lot of people that are really upset with Jeff Van Drew, and I think if the right candidate comes along, we can do this.
Okay. All right. Forgive me if this is a question. Well, I hope this question doesn't offend you, but I have to say, right now, I couldn't pick Mikey Sherrill out of a lineup. I've talked to Jack Civic twice already. Not since he's won the primary, but when he was campaigning, I had the opportunity to talk to him twice. Is there a contingency plan? Is there a plan B in case you're going to do everything in your power for Mikey Sherrill to win? One of my problems with Democrats in general is I kind of knew from knowing people around here, not you guys, but other people, I kind of knew that Trump probably was going to win. I knew the election was going to be closer than they thought. And I didn't think that Democrats had a plan B if Trump wins. And so now we're in a situation where things are totally getting worse, and they kind of don't, they even if they have a plan, they come off right now as being a boat that's rudderless. And I'm not, this is just Raymond talking. So then my question is not so much what are you going to do to ensure that Mikey Sherrill wins. If we're stuck with Jack, if you're unsuccessful in flipping Jeff Van Drew's seat, what is your plan to hold those two individuals accountable? But I think more importantly, what is your plan to help fortify the community? Because I don't think, me personally, I don't have a lot of confidence in elected officials, period. And so I always try to figure out, well, what can I do to help fortify the community since I can't change people's minds?
So first, you definitely did not offend me by asking that about Mikey Sherrill. 45% of voters in New Jersey voted for a progressive candidate. They either voted for Ross Baraka, Stephen Fulop, or Sean Spiller.
Right.
Mikey Sherrill had 30% of the vote. I think we don't have it for this election, but ranked choice voting needs to become a thing in New Jersey.
Right.
We would have a different candidate probably. Mikey Sherrill also, like you said, hasn't been down to South Jersey. So I think we need to put pressure on her to stop ignoring us. You can't just rely on North Jersey. But also understand that if we can get her elected, she's going to be a lot easier to work with on things like the Immigrant Trust Directive and maintaining our maintaining abortion rights in the state than Jack Ciattarelli will be.
Right.
So, I'm absolutely not a vote blue no matter who person, but I think with the current state of the federal government and our president, we can't have a Republican governor right now. We have to vote for Mikey. If she doesn't get elected, which is very possible, we need to do everything we can to maintain our control of the state legislature. So in this district, that means, or in our legislative district, that means voting for Maureen Rowan and Joanne Famularo for General Assembly. We want to make sure that we can fight back a Governor Jack, if that's what happens, in the state assembly. And as far as what's in our power, and maybe I'm naive in thinking this, I think if as many people, if we have a governor, Mikey Sherrill, and we call her and we reach out to her and we organize around her and let her know what we want, she's more likely to change course or to get a little bit more progressive than Jack. But okay. I don't know, maybe it's wishful thinking.
Well, no, if everybody was as cynical as me, nothing would ever change.
We have to have hope or we lose. So, Mikey, I definitely would have preferred a more progressive candidate personally. But, that's one thing about the big tent. Like, Indivisible, we are going to disagree on a lot of things, but we all can agree that we need to maintain our democracy and our Constitution, and that's why we're all in this fight together. And I believe of the two candidates for governor, Mikey Sherrill is more likely to maintain our democracy than be a puppet for Trump, which Ciattarelli has also made very clear that that's what his stance is.
Okay. As far as the federal government, from the president down to local officials, is democracy still a thing? Have we reached a tipping point?
I hope not. But the most recent
that doesn't sound very confident.
The most recent Supreme Court decision doesn't make me feel that confident. But we have to keep fighting, and I do think on a state level we'll get further with the Governor Sherrill than a Governor Ciattarelli. Okay.
If you're just tuning in, you are listening to The Light right here on the mighty 91.7 WLFR Pomona. We're here with the ladies from Indivisible Pleasantville and Indivisible Atlantic City. And again, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us. Give us some good news. Talk about, I know you have some wins. I know you have some things that we can celebrate.
I mean, I think just the number of people that are coming out to these events is a win. I think we are seeing maybe not a ton. People aren't being that open about it, but we're seeing some MAGA defections and some people even on the local level that have come out to stuff that said, I voted for Trump. I made the wrong decision and I want to join your group. And I think that our wins are just the sheer number of people that have come out to stuff. Our very first event, we had 500 people in attendance. Our rallies and protests have been very well attended. We have a really dedicated group of people on our leadership team that are forming committees around school board watches, city council watches, our Van Drew visits. We're partnering with other local groups and building coalitions that will last beyond this administration. Our community is getting so much stronger as a result of this struggle that we're going through together, and I think that is a win.
Okay, and that's exactly where I wanted to go, because actually, this coming Sunday, shout out to Mandy and Shane, I'll be at Beat the Daily Grind for our very first community culture and conversations event, which is a artistic, cultural, town hall style event. One of the reasons why I wanted to, when I got the job to curate this, I wanted to make community at the forefront, because since the pandemic and the elections, so many people feel isolated or alone. And so, I think what you guys are doing with Empathy United and focusing on empathy, kindness, seeing each other and seeing people as human, I think is extremely important. In fact, again, to flip it back on myself, that's why my event Sunday at Beat the Daily Grind starts off with community. Because if somebody is feeling like they're all alone, or just in need of a place to go for a low pressure social situation, they can come and just watch. They can come and participate in the town hall style, or they can come and just do a puzzle by themselves or with a group, or they can come and play a game like chess or a board game. And it's a situation where wherever you fit in, whatever you need from community, we're going to try and give you the space to find that. And I think what Indivisible does is definitely provides a place of community for people who may watch MSNBC, Fox News, or what's the other one? Well, I know there's one more, MSNBC, Fox News. Well, at any rate, if you're watching one of the political cable channels and you're like about to pull your hair out because you don't know what to do other than shout at the TV, I think Indivisible gives you an opportunity to meet with other people who feel the same way that you do, that maybe the country could be going in a different direction.
Definitely.
All right, you are listening to The Light right here on 91.7 WLFR Pomona. You've covered a lot of stuff, but we still got a little bit more time left. What else have you got for us?
I'm very prepared to talk about the one big beautiful bill, but I think everybody's probably
let's
tired
talk
of hearing
about that,
it.
because that's important. It's going to talk about something that's going to change lives. That is primed to change lives for a lot of people for the worse. Definitely, I am not the first billionaire radio station DJ, so it ain't going to be good for me. Now, Chad in the other room, our station manager, he's at about 4.2 billion, so he'll be all right. Although he may have to give me a ride to work, because I don't know if I'll be able to get my car fixed if it breaks down. But seriously, talk to us about Trump's bill they just passed.
So it's as you've probably heard, one of the biggest handovers to billionaires, as you just mentioned, in history. One of the things it does is it provides $5 billion a year in tax credits to donors that provide private and religious school vouchers.
Oh, I did not know that.
So it's a $1-for-$1 rebate, and it's something no other charity has ever gotten from the federal government. So
cronyism.
Yeah, it's not just an attempt to line the pockets of billionaires. It's also an attempt to take down our public school system by providing vouchers for private and religious school. It also, as you know, SNAP funding will be shifted to the states, so that will lead to tightening eligibility. There's a loss of clean energy credits, including on projects that have already started. They halted renewable projects that were already in motion. and the loss of clean energy credits will raise the cost of fossil fuel and renewable energy costs. 17 million people are estimated to lose their health care. And this isn't people who shouldn't be eligible. This is a constant Republican talking point that undocumented immigrants are on Medicaid. That is not true. You are not eligible for Medicaid if you're undocumented. And in fact, immigrants that are not born in this country are less likely to be on Medicaid than people that are born in the United States. People under 65 that are covered by Medicaid, there are more US-born citizens than foreign-born citizens on Medicaid. States are going to be forced to cut the amount they pay providers or more likely throw people off of Medicaid. And another big Republican talking point is work requirements. There's always been work requirements. It's just now they come with an insurmountable amount of paperwork that's designed to discourage enrollment. The bill also reduces subsidies that allow people to buy policies under the Affordable Care Act, so that will be an additional 5 million people are going to lose their coverage. And the ICE funding in this bill is insane, over $75 billion to ICE. And that's, our immigrant community deserves dignity, not increased surveillance and intimidation. Well,
let me ask you a question. Do you honestly believe that the Trump administration is going to stop with the immigrant community?
No. I mean, they just put $75 billion into ICE. It's going to get worse.
And
no, I don't think they'll
where
stop.
are these gang members and MS-13 and murderers that are supposed to be? Yeah, I guess I should have Van Drew in the empty chair here for that question.
Right.
But according to the administration, this is supposed to be for removing people who are dangerous criminals who are undocumented, not hardworking individuals who pay taxes,
Absolutely.
which will also make our taxes go up.
Mm-hmm. So, our immigrants in South Jersey, we know our immigrant community is the backbone of South Jersey. They run our restaurants, our farms, they power small businesses and shops, and the campaign against immigrants from this administration has little to do with deporting criminals and everything to do with racism and hatred. So.
And there is said racism and hatred. As American as apple pie, in my opinion. All right. As we come to the close, let me reintroduce my guest. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. We have Zanae from Indivisible Pleasantville. We have Alice from Indivisible Atlantic City. Together, they form the Alliance of Empathy United. Oh, are you recruiting more people? If somebody is listening, I did all this big long speech about community. If somebody is sitting at home and they feel like they would like to be a part of Indivisible Pleasantville or Atlantic City, are you accepting new members?
Always. We want our group to get as big as we can. So indivisibleempathyunited.org, you can come on there and sign up for our email list, or email us directly at empathyunitedsouthjersey@gmail.com. So even if you are just on our Facebook page and sign up to follow our page, you will get all of the updates and be able to come out to events and get more involved.
Okay, great. And you want to say anything about Pleasantville before we let you go? Even though you're just 2 weeks old?
Yeah, 2 weeks old. Just to lay back what you said about feeling alone, I think I was one of those people who were feeling alone in terms of, like, there was so much going on at one time, and with Trump's administration, everything comes so quickly, so it's so important to come out to these town hall meetings that we're having, and that next one coming up, which is on August 14th, we'll be able to get some more education and, like, be a community and hear about the things that we need to hear about that are important to us as a community.
And what would you like to say about Empathy United, Indivisible Atlantic City, Alice?
Please come out to an event. The next thing you could come to is Friday night, July 11th, Monumental Resistance from 5 to 6 p.m. at the World War I monument at Albany Avenue. Come out and meet some like-minded people, educate our community, and then we will probably head over to a local establishment for some social community time.
Well, there you go. There you go. You can't be so busy fighting the power that you forget to socialize. Because that's part of what their goal is, to steal your joy and make you feel like you're already defeated already.
Joy and community are resistance.
There you go. There you go. And I would like to invite both of you, Sundays from this coming Sunday, July 13th, through August 20th, I believe is the last date. I'll be at Beat the Daily Grind from 12 to about 3, and we'll be doing different events. We're gonna have a science fiction comic book day in August. We're also doing a women's specific town hall, and then we're doing a specific one for games for people to, we'll always have a space for people to speak, but we have my friend the real game queen, who is a hoot. She'll be coming out to lead out in some musical games, which are fun. So I want to invite both of you or either of you to come to any or all of them and meet some people, and I'll give you the opportunity to speak and recruit. So yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, because it's all about community. So, all right. If you were just tuning in, you are listening to The Light right here on the mighty 91.7 WLFR Pomona. One more time before we let you go, how can people get it? You have Indivisible Atlantic City is available on all social media platforms.
Yeah, so you can find us indivisibleempathyunited.org. If you go to indivisibleatlanticcity.com, it will bring you to the same website.
Okay.
Indivisible Empathy United on Facebook.
Okay.
We're also on Instagram and TikTok. Indivisible Empathy United on Instagram, Indivisible Atlantic City on TikTok, Indivisible AC on Blue Sky. So there are tons of ways to find us, or you can just email us at empathyunitedsouthjersey@gmail.com.
All right. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
I appreciate it. I'm so used to doing the morning show, I keep wanting to announce the time. I guess I will announce the time. It is about 10 minutes to 12 on a hot day here on the campus of Atlantic City, on the campus of Stockton University. And my name is Raymond Tyler from AtlanticCityFocus.com, and they underwrite this great show. So in keeping with the a feeling of empathy and creativity and culture, here's a song. Here is the one and only Kermit the Frog with Rainbow Connection right here on 91.7 WLFR Pomona. Coming up to 12 o'clock special.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Anytime you want to come back.
We'll get you full of pennies next time. Thank you. Thank you.
There's so many songs about rainbows.
I'll see you Sunday. I'm